heard that adage, write what you know. I thought about this advice, write what you know, as I was reading the short story submitted by one of my students earlier this week. It's a fun little story about a teenager named Dylan who helps a couple of old people escape from a nursing home. And so the first time we see Dylan, he's riding a skateboard, and the last time we see him, he has hot-wired a car, and they're tearing out of the parking lot. Now, unfortunately, the writer of this story was a law-abiding citizen, and he didn't really know that much about hot-wiring cars or stealing cars. Let me just read you the way he described that scene. Dylan opened the car door and reached under the dash. He used his cell phone light to search for the correct wires he needed. Now, which ones were they? He muttered. And then the two old people get into a little quarrel with one another about who's making more noise. Stop arguing, you two, said Dylan. Got it. The car roared to life. You see what's going on here, right? It looks like we're going to get to see a person hot wiring a car. He's got his cell phone out. He's looking under the dash for the wires. And then right about the time that maybe we're reaching, sort of getting to the critical moment, the writer does a little hand trick over here and says, hey, look at these old people arguing. And then while we're looking over there, the car roars to life. And so we don't see a car get hot wired. If you want to envision that, you've got to fall back on what you remember from the Dukes of Hazzard or the Fast and Furious movies or whatever, but the writer is not giving it to you. The writer is not giving you those details for you to envision, to give you what you need to inhabit that scene. This character, Dylan, the first time we see him, he is riding a skateboard. And the good news is, our writer, even though he doesn't know much about stealing cars, does know a lot about skateboards. When we first have the skateboard coming, the old man hears a dull roar of the skateboard wheels along the pavement. And then when Dylan, the teenager, has an accident, a skateboard accident, it flips over, and now the wheels are spinning, and it's making a humming sound. That's the sort of thing that would have never occurred to me to depict if I were depicting a skateboard. A dull roar, but that's exactly what a skateboard sounds like. The dull roar and then the hum when it's upside down, that's two things I knew about skateboards, but I didn't really have access to it because I just don't know that much about skateboards. But the writer did. He gave us that little detail that makes me, as a reader, feel like I'm in good hands, that this person really does know what he's talking about. He didn't do it by stacking detail on detail on detail, but rather by finding this nice little detail that you really have to know about skateboards to understand, or you have to know about skateboards to have thought of it, I think. So here's the question. What do you know? What do you know that your reader doesn't know? What have you seen that your reader hasn't seen? Because when you're able to show your reader something he's never seen before, that's a gift to your reader. That is a way for you to love your reader. It's a good place to start writing.